Now at 9, Election Day is tomorrow. See how the candidates are preparing.
And the suspect in the Orlando shooting has been arrested. Find out how he's being charged.
Also, the Menendez brothers now have a set hearing date. We have the details.
Music producer Quincy Jones has died. We have the details on what happened.
And later in the show, I'm tracking a soggy election day in Indiana.
Local news about local people, live from Ball State Unified Media. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Abby Urban.
And I'm Aiden Murray. It all comes down to this, the final full day of campaigning in the presidential election. Vice President Kamala Harris finishing a barnstorming of battleground states with stops today in critical Pennsylvania.
And former President Donald Trump also hitting the battlegrounds, finishing his campaigning in toss-up Michigan. CNN correspondent Brian Abel is at the White House with the latest on the election's final moments.
The presidential campaign trail over the final weekend, running straight through the battleground states. Vice President Kamala Harris with multiple stops in Wisconsin Friday, Georgia and North Carolina Saturday, and Michigan Sunday, making closing arguments of her truncated campaign, saying she wants to remind people the stakes of the election.
We know who Donald Trump is. Now, this is not someone who is thinking about how to make your life better.
The vice president Saturday also appearing on SNL.
Because what do we always say? Keep Kamala and carry on a lot.
The close of former President Trump's third presidential run, also pushing into multiple battleground states. He too was in Wisconsin Friday after Michigan, then Virginia Saturday, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and North Carolina Sunday.
I will bring back the American dream and we'll bring it back stronger than ever before.
As they sprint to the finish, polls show a race too close to call. Longtime Michigan Representative Debbie Dingell on just how close she believes this race is.
Been through enough elections that I can tell you I have never seen a tighter election.
At the White House, Brian Abel reporting.
Early voting ended today at noon, and as we said, tomorrow is election. So tomorrow night at 9, NewsLink Indiana will be bringing you special election coverage, and our team has more for you.
Election day is right around the corner, and NewsLink Indiana has you covered.
Our teams will be live on the ground at party headquarters and polls, getting you the most accurate and up-to-date information.
Plus, we have the latest on the presidential, congressional, and gubernatorial races.
And we'll have you in the know for the potential weather forecast.
So stay tuned for our 2024 general election show and all of our coverage leading up to the big day.
That's all right here live at 9 on NewsLink Indiana's Facebook page.
The 17-year-old suspect in the deadly shootings at a Halloween celebration in downtown Orlando early Friday will be tried as an adult. Today, prosecutors said Jalen Dwayne Edgar will face 2 counts of second-degree murder, with more charges expected. They said he was charged as an adult due to the egregious nature of the crime. Edgar is accused of shooting into a massive group of people in an act that prosecutors said showed a complete disregard for life. He was arrested at the scene. 2 men, aged 25 and 19 years old, were killed. 6 others were hurt. It was not immediately clear if Edgar had legal representation for the charges filed against him as an adult.
A hearing date to consider resentencing for Eric and Lyle Menendez has been set for December 11th. That's according to a court official and a spokesperson for the brothers' lawyer. Prior to the resentencing hearing, the judge will hold a November 25th status hearing on the request. Last week, the Los Angeles District Attorney requested resentencing for the brothers. They were sentenced to life in prison without parole in 1996 for the 1989 murders of their parents. The DA has recommended the sentence be reduced to life in prison with possibility of parole. Normally, that would mean 50 years to life in prison, but because the crime happened when the brothers were under 26 years old, California law says they would be eligible for youthful parole and could be freed after a parole board hearing.
Lawyers for Sean Diddy Combs are asking a judge to place a gag order on potential witnesses and their attorneys. Combs' lawyers argue that any public statements about the case could undermine his right to a fair trial. The move comes after media reports last week about a witness who appeared before a federal grand jury. That witness said he has videos that contain footage of celebrities potentially being victimized by Combs. In the defense team's request to the federal judge overseeing Combs' sex trafficking trial, they called the witness's claims sensational, false, and outrageous. In previous filings, U.S. Attorney's Office has argued against imposing a gag order on potential witnesses and their counsel.
Music producer and composer Quincy Jones is dead at age 91. His publicist says he died peacefully, surrounded by his family in his Bel Air, California home. Jones is best known for polishing the work of Ray Charles, Frank Sinatra, and Michael Jackson. In a statement, his family says they're celebrating his life despite their broken heart.
What's estimated to be the costliest American strike of the 21st century might be coming to an end. Boeing union members today tried to decide whether to accept a sweetened contract deal. Some expected the vote to be close. Amy Kiley reports on the vote's national and global implications.
For me personally, it's okay. Could it be better? Absolutely.
Striking Boeing workers are voting today on the company's latest contract offer. They're deciding whether to continue what has become the costliest strike for the U.S. economy this century. The new deal involves a 38% raise over 4 years. That's up from an offer of 35% last month, but still shy of the union's original demand of 40%. Boeing's also offering a ratification bonus of up to $12,000.
This is better than our last offer, but I think they can do a little bit better. But we need to get back to work.
Union leaders warn the deal might be the best they can get. Some workers seem ready to accept it after striking more than 7 weeks. Others are holding out for more.
I don't care how long it takes. That's why I'm out here. I want my pension back. I don't care how much money Boeing is losing.
Analysts say the Boeing strike is significant enough that it put a temporary dent in Friday's jobs report. It's also affecting global travel as airlines await new planes. With so much at stake, the acting U.S. Labor Secretary says she's been facilitating negotiations personally.
Collective bargaining works. It doesn't always look pretty from the outside, but when workers have a voice, it's better for everybody.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
If members accept the deal, they'll head back to work after more than 7 weeks off the job. If they don't, their strike will continue.
Severe weather threats, including tornadoes, damaging winds, and flooding, are in the forecast for large parts of the southern plains and some of the Midwest today. With that as Election Day rain forecast across several states, 2 of those being swing states. The National Weather Service says at least 5 twisters, 2 of those powerful EF3 strength, tore through parts of Oklahoma overnight Saturday into Sunday. Officials are working to ensure all polling places have power ahead of tomorrow's presidential election. There was no relief for the region today, with thunderstorms, tornadoes, winds, and large hail threats persisting from southern Texas up into western Illinois. Through Election Day, rainfall between 1 and 3 inches is expected across the U.S., including Wisconsin and Michigan, 2 closely watched swing states. And we're going to continue that talk about rain with weather right now.
Yes, that's right, Abby. Indiana's only seeing the lighter end of some of those rain showers. Right now here in Delaware County and our viewing area, there is going to be just a little bit of rain potentially off to our northeast. Looking at our 24-hour temperature change too, we've started to warm up just a little bit here in Muncie. Pretty normal across the state from one day to another. Haven't seen that many changes. You are going to see a lot more changes though as we head into tomorrow, with some of the rain potentially leading to some rain during your poll times throughout the rest of the day. If you want to find out more about that, you can tune into the rest of the show, where I have news about rain during poll times, windy gusts, and as well as some normal temperatures throughout the week.
Well, thank you so much, Ian. Coming up, one local business is revving up engines. We have the story.
And learn more about the Muncie Piano Bar when we return.
Dear moms and dads, what you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas.
You know it's true.
Mom, we love you always.
Everything I do.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew a girl so smart, so responsible, she must be a keeper.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Man, it's lonely. Like, going through life lonely.
There is the therapeutic aspect of music, just expressing how you feel. I'm going to talk to Howie about his feelings, make it into a song.
Welcome back. If you ever driven down Jackson Street, you might have heard some roaring engines. NewsLink Indiana's Sophie Schick took a pit stop to learn more.
Behind me is a go-kart track with a unique history and close family ties. Victory Laps has something in it for everyone in the Muncie community. Drivers, start your engines. The place was bought in the midst of COVID, unveiling a lot of work to be done. But owner Charles Venable had a vision for Victory Laps, and making it come to life was all he ever wanted.
I had a vision of what I thought it would look like, but to see people coming out here, families coming out here, private event after private event, party after party, it's definitely something I never imagined.
He invested more into this place than just go-karts. Victory Laps is complete with putt-putt, cornhole, basketball, and more. Charles runs the track with the help of his wife and daughters, so seeing new families make new memories is beyond special for him.
Is seeing 4 generations of a family being out there on the track at the same time and having a grandma that was 98 years old with all that generation coming. That was what was awesome to me.
Apart from being a family man, Charles is also a Muncie native and devotee.
You know, I'll never forget, I'm born and raised from 1216 East 7th Street. That's where my humble beginnings are, and the Muncie community means everything to me, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to invest in this place.
Investing in this place has not only fueled fun for Charles and his family, but for the Muncie community at large. If you have a need for speed, Victory Laps might just be for you. In Muncie, Sophie Schick, NewsLink, Indiana.
Victory Laps lives by the hashtag #GoKartForUs. For more information, visit their Facebook page.
The Room 5 Piano Bar opened earlier this year, letting musicians show their talents. NewsLink Indiana's Essence Eaton has the details.
Right here in Muncie, it's its very own piano bar, where bands and musicians can play and show off their talents. This bar is open to students 21 and up. Younger participants can play in the band. Here is the owner of the bar, Louis Garcia, to give his insight on why he created the piano bar.
The reason is because Muncie had nothing. They had no place to go to have a good time. So I thought I could bring this here and have live entertainment and a good time.
Next, the piano bar owner talks about all the different themed nights that happen at the bar.
So we have a college night here on Thursday nights. Anybody that's a student can come in Thursday nights from 8 o'clock till 1 o'clock.
If you want to know more information about who's playing at the piano bar or you would like to play yourself, contact the piano bar on Facebook. In Muncie, Essence Eaton, NewsLink, Indiana.
For more information, visit the Room 5 Piano Bar's Facebook page.
Find out when we're going to be seeing rain tomorrow during the election.
As a dad, every day is a challenge. To make sure that the time that I have, I spend with them. It doesn't matter how tired you are, you have to try and to teach them. When they learn something new and you can just see in their faces, it's such an incredible moment. It's those moments that are my favorite.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party?
it was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
When tornadoes touched down in parts of our viewing area, NewsLink Indiana kept you informed days in advance.
You do need to be seeking shelter.
Marginal risk of severe weather.
And days after.
The roof has been ripped completely off of this house.
Giving you a first-hand look at the communities affected.
When your neighbors lose their house and you don't, how lucky you are.
The first to alert you of severe weather before it happens. NewsLink Indiana Weather.
Can't believe you're doing this alone. I've done it before. I remember you threw your back out. How you holding up? Hand me that board. Nothing wrong with getting help. I'm good. I did it when Felicia left. I'll figure it out. I know you will, but you don't have to do it alone. That's all I'm saying. If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence? Now you need my help. It can be a real pain sometimes, you know what? Mm-hmm.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Well, we're seeing a bit of rain across Indiana right now. Here in Delaware County in particular, you're going to see just a little bit of rain potentially towards our northwest. Here in Marion, you're likely to see maybe 1/5 of an inch of rain throughout the rest of the evening. It's nothing you really need to worry about that much, especially as we head into the next couple of hours. That rain's going to start to dissipate as well as we cool down. Right now it's 69 degrees in Muncie, 66 degrees in Indianapolis, 63 in Terre Haute. We're still going to cool down a lot more, especially as we head into those later evening hours. But the main thing you're going to want to look for is actually some pretty strong wind gusts. Our low for the evening is going to be 50 degrees with a chance of rain. I'd throw it around a 30% chance. Again, for most of our viewing area, you're not really going to have to worry about it. But those gusts are what you're going to want to watch out for, up to 30 miles per hour. And those will continue into the next couple of days and potentially even into tomorrow when you're going out to vote. So let's take a look at our election forecast and see how our weather is going to line up with it. At 6 a.m., that's when the polls open, 63 degrees and mostly cloudy. You're going to start to see some clearing throughout the rest of the day. That's going to give a little bit more energy for storms later in the evening. 71 degrees at noon around lunchtime. That's when that clearing will start to occur. 75 degrees at 6 p.m. That's when the polls close and the rain will start to begin. You're going to see potentially some scattered showers at 6 p.m. And as we head into the rest of the day and closer to our football game, that's where you're going to see more rain. Tomorrow, Ball State plays Miami, Ohio. It's going to be 70 degrees at kickoff, and those strong gusts are going to continue, again, around 30 miles per hour. We're going to make kicking the ball very, very difficult, and those gusts are going to continue into the rest of the week. Looking behind me, southwest winds, again, low 30s, upper 20s, that's where you're going to expect those strong wind gusts. And those are even going to continue overnight into Tuesday, later in the evening, especially as that front moves through, bringing rain with it. Fortunately, those gusts are going to start to disappear as we head into the midweek, and some clear skies will start to arrive too as we get into much more favorable conditions. First, we got to get through, again, these cloudy skies you're going to see behind me on Tuesday, and as we move forward into the next couple of hours, you're going to see, again, that bit of clearing tomorrow. Going into that rain you'll see as well. And that rain is going to move on through. You're going to see that clearing, you're going to see clear skies over the next couple of days. It's going to be a lot more easy to just get outside and enjoy your day. I wish it could have been possible for that to happen during our election or during our football game, but it's just going to be unfavorable conditions as we head into the rest of the day, into Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday as well. You might see some more residual chances of rain. That second round of strong winds and rain. 60 degrees will be our high on Saturday, 63 degrees on Monday. I wish I could give a better forecast for such an eventful day with an election and a Ball State football game. That's just not the case.
Well, obviously, we are so used to weather whiplash here in Indiana. So, although we're not excited for the rain, let's hope it does pick up and get better for our Cards football game tomorrow night. So thank you so much, Ian. There's lots more to get to on NewsLink Indiana, and Jaden Collins has a preview of your sports.
Thanks, Abby and Aiden. It's time for some action. Plus, the end of the season draws near for some dominant high school football teams. All this and more next in sports.
It's something about having that piece of paper. Some people think that's worth more than my skills.
I've run this place for 20 years, but I still need to prove that I'm more than what you see on paper.
You gotta be so good they can't ignore you.
It's the way my mind works. I have a very mechanical brain.
Analytics and empathy. That's how I've gained clients.
I am more. I'm more than who I am on paper.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
¿Qué color? Perfecto, mijo.
Gracias. Thank you.
What's wrong, mijo?
Donating to a pet's medical care is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
At night, NewsLink Indiana brings you the news before you go to bed. But Friday mornings, you're waking up with Cardinal Weather, bringing you up to speed on the day's top stories.
And giving you up-to-the-minute conditions from the Ball State Weather Center.
And of course, lots of fun.
I gave mine personality.
Oh,
Look, it's got eyebrows.
Ooh, my lucky glove didn't even work.
But I also am excited for those fall temperatures.
Start your Friday mornings with Cardinal Weather, live on the Cardinal Weather Facebook page.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Jaden Collins with sports. Ball State football takes on Miami, Ohio tomorrow night in the Redbird rivalry. NewsLink Indiana's Stephen Grotta has more.
We are preparing ourselves for a 60-minute war.
As the Cards line up to take on Miami tomorrow night at home, this matchup is more than just another game on the schedule. The story of the Redbird rivalry dates back as far as 1970 when Ball State joined the Mid-America Conference. In the last 10 of these matchups, Ball State has fallen 3-7 to the Redbirds. The most notable of these losses came last year when the Cards would lose in heartbreaking fashion 17-15. However, after a tough-fought victory last week against Northern Illinois, Cardinals head coach Mike New is as fired up as ever.
And this conference is good, man, and there's competitive, high-level football week in, week out, and I think our guys are, listen, we were underdogs in the game last week. It is what it is. Nobody cares. All we're worried about is playing the best football that we can.
And they say defense wins championships, and for the Cardinals, it played an integral part in their first rivalry win of the year with a season-high 4 forced turnovers.
Winning the turnover margin by +4, that's how you win games, or at least that's how you help the team win games.
And with the Cardinals ready to take flight and break that 4-game losing streak they have against Miami, this MACtion game is definitely not one to miss.
It's a rivalry game as well, another trophy game back-to-back. Our guys are excited about that opportunity.
In Muncie, Stephen Grotta, NewsLink Indiana.
Sticking to the gridiron, Mississinewa took on Delta in round 2 of sectionals this past Friday night. NewsLink's Jackson White has more.
This past Friday night, the 5-5 Delta Eagles traveled to Gas City to take on the undefeated Mississinewa Indians for a chance to compete for sectional gold next Friday. Mississinewa came into this game 10-0, having only allowed 39 total points on the season, and their defense did not disappoint. The Indians had a game plan, and they stuck to it.
We prepared well. We knew what they were going to run. They run zone blocking the whole time, so it's real easy to read. So that was something we knew coming into the game, and then we just, bottom line, executed.
Delta runs a spread offense and likes to air it out at times, so Mississinewa had to be prepared for the Eagles quarterback. However, that didn't stop the Indians as they sacked the Delta quarterback 6 times.
We knew we had to get after the quarterback, and we also couldn't let him make off-schedule throws and off-schedule runs. He does a great job in the scramble drill of completing passes, but also using his legs and running. And our guys did an excellent job in their pursuit to take him down with those sacks, but also in coverage on those scramble drills and breaking a lot of those up.
After a defensive battle, the Indians took home the victory 21-7. The Indians remain undefeated at 11-0 and now look to do something they haven't done in 40 years. win a sectional championship in back-to-back seasons. But first, they will have to go through the Fort Wayne Bishop Lures this Friday to do so. In Gas City, Jackson White, NewsLink, Indiana.
To shoot things over to Worthen, Ball State men's basketball tips off their season tonight. The Cards take on the Georgia State Panthers in Atlanta for the first of 2 MAC Sunbelt Challenge games this season. After just missing out on the MAC tournament last year, Ball State enters this season with a healthy dose of transfers and true freshmen to mix with returners Mason Jones and Mickey Pearson Jr. That game just wrapped up on ESPN Plus with the Panthers taking the win.
And of course, we're looking for a win out of both our teams tonight, so thank you so much, Jaden. Coming up, Brat Summer is not over just yet. Learn how it's continuing to live on.
And we have one final look at your weather after the break.
Attacks against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders are on the rise.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer. In terms of the hate crimes, I think there is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. 2 milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable. The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Even though it's Cozy Girl Autumn, Brat Summer will now last forever. Friday, Collins Dictionary announced brat as its 2024 Word of the Year. The UK-based dictionary publisher has defined it as someone characterized by a confident, independent, and hedonistic attitude. Brat became a cultural phenomenon when British singer Charli XCX dropped her hit album of the same name over the summer. Brat is now one of the most talked about words of the year. It even landed in Vice President Kamala Harris's election campaign, after which Charli XCX gave Harris her seal of approval, proclaiming on X, "Kamala is Brat." Now, obviously, I love me some Cozy Girl Autumn, but I miss Brat Girl Summer weather, Ian.
You're gonna have to keep missing it, unfortunately. I don't know what to tell you because we are in the mood for some rain here in Delaware County. Even on election day and with the Ball State football game on Tuesday, 75 degrees is our high. Strong chance of rain, especially towards the evening, 6, 7 p.m. We're gonna get some clearing after that, Wednesday and Thursday, but a return to rain next weekend.
Well, thank you so much, Ian. That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to tune tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page and YouTube channel.
And for news anytime, anywhere, just go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night and stay safe.